All right. Welcome, everybody, to the potential 10-hour live stream. No, it's not going to be 10 hours. Well, we're going to be talking about pull planning for FR weapons. Now, I do have our DFFOO debuff supremacist.
What?
I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
He started off so well talking about a 10-hour stream, and I was like, dude, I'm not going to sit here for 10 hours. But I will sit here for as long as people are here. But yeah, no. Good to be back. And yeah, good to be talking about FRs today. So looking forward to this.
Yes.
Somewhat. Studied really hard for this. Let's go.
So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about the 8 months of FR weapons, and what we'll do is like we will go down each month, and we will be letting you guys know like which FRs we are going to be pulling for on global. And at the same time, we are also going to like briefly mention like one, maybe two characters, and talk about like why we are gonna pull for the FR weapon, this and that, or just kind of give like a brief explanation about it. So we're trying to keep it short, but at the same time though, we're like trying to keep it like informative to those who are still trying to figure stuff out, like which FRs to pull for, save for, etc., because like everybody likes to plan ahead of time. So it's I figure something like this would actually help out. So welcome everybody to the live stream. Hopefully things go well. Actually, no, things should go well, right? Maybe.
Things will go well, trust me. Disregard him, he's nervous. This is his first time doing a big show like this. I'm a professional. This is his first time.
Yeah. This is his channel, if you guys don't know. I'm just working for him.
Yes. You'll never see me and Lawson in the exact same room. People wonder why, but no, it's okay. No.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
True. Come on.
All right. So first thing in order that we are going to be talking about shall be for the month of July, which is going to be coming up. The community live stream was announced. Well, I mean, it was technically announced like last live stream, but like now it's like like good to go. Like the stream is going to be starting off in this coming Monday, which I will be live streaming and whatnot. Just in case if anything is if something happens, but I doubt anything is gonna happen. So
I've been asking a lot of ifs lately,
right,
dude.
So I'm gonna go ahead and start off first, and like we'll switch on between each other with the months. So I've already mentioned, and this will be in tomorrow's video. So I am going to be pulling for Kane's FR. I know that his percentages are not really like all that, but I mean, I'm still going to pull for it regardless, just because why not? For content purposes. But in all seriousness, like I will be pulling for his FR. Cryo, I'll probably throw some tickets to see if I can maybe get her FR. I did not get it in JP, so I'm probably going to hold off for a little bit. Braska, I will probably throw some tickets for him, even though his overall kit is doo-doo. But I will be, yeah. I mean, look, no party fire in chat. I mean, like, what the hell? So that's all I'm going to say on that. So I'll throw some tickets at him just for, shits and giggles. Yeah. Cam, I did pull or really his kit kind of like just came to my account. I did not actually build him. I built him on my second JP account. And, I used him a few times. But I think for Global's release, I will probably chase him just for the heck of it. So I will probably pull for his FR and whatnot. Desh didn't pull his FR in JP. Probably going to pass up on it. Titus will be pulling for his FR because screw tier 10.
Just tier 10, guys. Trust me. Titus works outside of tier 10 too, but like tier 10 is something that a lot of people need to be aware of, because if you thought tier 9 was hard, tier 10 is going to be a whole lot more fun. And not in a good way. So the next month after that is going to be pretty much going to be going into August. You're going to be catching You'll
Oh
be
wait.
catching
What are you going for in July?
in July for me?
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm looking at Kane. I think Kane is awesome. Eons has definitely shown me the way of Kane, but at the exact same time too, I really think that when it does come down to Kane, if I get it perfect, but I don't think I'm going to be like hurting without it. Trial is like, if I see her, maybe, and I'm like, thank you, Kryl, for giving it to me. But it's like at this point, I think I'm good on Kryl. Braska, because he's a brand new unit, he's like, I'm going to take him through summon boards and get some tickets off of it. And if I just so happen to get it while chasing him, or like if I use those summon board tickets and put him on his banner, and if I get it, perfect. If not, I'm not really looking to chase him like that. If he's there, maybe. But either way, Camelot is very interesting to me. And on top of it, the reason why he's so interesting to me is that he has a very powerful debuff that applies to other debuffers. As long as somebody's applying a debuff, you're going to be able to see it. So his BT effect is what I'm aiming for. And if I get his FR along the way, even better for me. Dash is a unit that I'm looking forward to, just because of the fact that he has, Dash has very high defensive capability. And I really like the fact that Dash has the ability to make bosses hit for ones, even without debuffs on them.
Wait a second. So you don't mind getting hit by the boss, is what you're telling me?
Okay, so no turning bosses is fine sometimes, but I do like having some boss interactions. And on top of that, like one of my favorite characters straight up neuter like bosses Brave games. So it's like you can't hit me, but you'll hit me for like 5. And if you do Brave gain, I'm gonna tax that. So like, what's the worst you can do to me? 5 HP damage? I'll take it. But Dash is a very interesting unit, and I think that with his versatility, his ability to heal, and on top of that, his enchanting capability, I think he deserves something. And on top of that, there is an FR that I really want later. That if I do get it, I can combine these two together. These do play off each other very well. So look forward to that. And then there's Titus, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna handle T10, but I guess I'm gonna be doing I'm gonna have to be running without Titus, so I'm gonna find a way around it. I think his FR is really neat, and I think that his FR is definitely made for him. It is not made for a lot of people, but it's definitely made for him. But it's not too bad. I think that his FR is okay.
Okay. What's going on? By the way, for those who have just joined, if you guys have any questions related to the any of the FRs that we're going to be talking about, or like briefly talking about, just like in general, like the next era coming up, feel free to comment, and we will get to it at a certain point throughout the streams, or at certain points throughout the stream. So, and to everybody who just joined, welcome. Hope you guys are having a good Friday.
Very good Friday.
Thank God it's Friday. Thank the Lord it's Friday.
I know, right? End of the week. And I still have to work over the weekend, but it's okay.
Yeah, I still got the weekend. So, all right. So what are you gonna do for August then?
So August, right off the bat, like we have like Gabranth right off the bat. I want Gabranth just because of the fact that his FR ability deals with 2 different ways of attacking: instant breaking, or just inflicting break and attacking a debuff target. Gabranth is like easy FR condition without question.
Oh, for sure.
The only bad part about it is if you're not running breakers in the team, but either way looking at the situation.
Whoa. Wait, hold on. Kaiden disappeared.
Sorry about that. Technical difficulty. I had a situation.
I was like, you faded anyway, for a second.
No, I swear, I'm here. I just have to read something real quick. But Gabranth, easy one. If you're not running breakers, that's kind of the bad part. But I'm always having debuffs under me, so I'm always going to be able to at least hit that 15%. Ursula, I don't mind if I do get her. She's going to be pretty neat. Fujin's FR, RBK, forgive me, but that is just not meant for me.
I feel like a lot of people are going to pass up on her.
But like her event, like Fujin's event is one of those fights where you're going to need an FR. Like that one's pretty much like one of those fights where it's like without it, you're going to have a horrible time. And if you're trying to do like an FR-less run, you'll probably hit that turn count faster than you think because these birds are ridiculously tanky. Um, Charlotta is one of the ones I think is very good if you actually have like Brave games or like Brave units who are really, really good at that.
Uh-huh.
But one of the FR conditions is just strictly for her, where it isn't like the priority one, but as long as you're able to use an HP attack or like a Brave hit that's been changed, it does help out there. Reno, I'm chasing Reno. I don't care. I'm chasing Reno.
Are you swiping though? Is that the question? That's the
No,
real question.
I mean, I don't have to swipe because Square Enix has already given it to me. I'm just not allowed, like, I'm not allowed to talk about it on stream where anybody else. But I already have this FR. They just don't know it yet. But let's see. And then there's Cloud of Darkness, and Cloud of Darkness is
Steve's favorite character.
That's yes. It's a unit that's very unique to me, and I'm not sure if I'm going to chase Cloud of Darkness just yet because I don't intend on running like a lot of delayers, but I've seen some shenanigans with Cloud of Darkness and Garland working together. So
yeah, I've seen it. Yes, because Garland is able to delay while like in the air and whatnot, and it does technically count as the condition.
Yeah, pretty much.
So. Somebody asked, is it worth skipping Kane for Cam? In my opinion, I would say no, because Kane. Okay, so first off, Kane has a lot of versatility to his kit. I mean, he is still used by JP players, including myself today. Like that's how good his kit is. I mean, you can skip his FR, but like if you manage to get it, like his LD and BT, you're good to go. Because his FR, it sucks. I'm still pulling for it, but it sucks. But Kane and Cam, they do different things. Yeah. With Kane, I mean, you got like the off-turn damage. He jumps in the air and whatnot. He does that off-turn damage on every action, or not every action, every HP action. And then with Cam, with his FR ability, which is it's a pretty popular one among the community right now. Is kind of still. It will be like during the beginning Shinryu era, because like if you do everything correctly, then like the HP damage bonus is gonna go up very high. You're gonna clear content pretty quick, etc., etc. His BT effect is nice. It inflicts a trap that basically it's basically like El Naj's trap. That's pretty much how it works. And he does have the ice elements, which I mean may restrict his usage in future Shinryu fights, because there is going to be like elemental lockdowns and whatnot, so like that's another thing to consider. But like they're both very, very good characters. But Kane is, for me, if I were to choose between Kane and Cam, I would definitely go with Kane more than Cam, because I did just fine clearing content with Cam in JP. So like it really just depends on what you actually like want,
Right. I think another thing to talk about too is that when it does come down to it, they handle bosses in two different ways. As Lost said earlier, Kane has the ability to completely destroy a boss's HP bar, where a Camelot has the ability to shut down a boss's actions. Mm-hmm. To be able to shut a boss down through actions is one thing, but you're still going to need damage output in order to kill the boss ultimately. Kane being able to deal massive amounts of damage over time, and on top of that, on turn, Kane does a lot for your team. And on top of that, his BT effect makes it to where he offers a lot more when he's jumping, or just his aura effect in general. Kane has the ability to hold very short call effects and can actually keep them in the party for a long period of time because of how often his off turn goes off and how far back he delays himself when he's midair with double jump. Kane has more versatility, but Camelot has the ability to just outright shut down an enemy.
Exactly.
So if an enemy can't move, an enemy is not dangerous. But it literally comes down to if they are immune to his debuffs or not. And if a boss is immune to debuffs, Camelot is like not the greatest pick there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Definitely not.
So somebody also asked, can Arden and Gabranth work good together? Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Hands down. One of the greatest two combos I've ever seen. And then on top of that, there's another unit that's a breaker or who wants breakers to work with him. And it's just like those three working together. It's fantastic.
Let's see. Any other questions? What about pull rates, guys? Feels like tickets will make free-to-play survive. The pull rates for FR and LD, they are the same. They are not any different. There is not one over the other. The only difference between both of them is that if you are going to be using gems, FR Pity is at 400 G tokens, and the LD is still the same at 300 G tokens.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm going to try to get Cam's FR in case they buff it in the future. That's also another reason why I'm also getting it as well. Because, I don't know. Something tells me Global's going to do, like, some shenanigans and whatnot.
And no doubt that there's a very good chance that they'll probably do, like, a global first FR. So, like, depending on what your resources is, that global first FR, they generally tend to release global first characters who can keep up with everything and even some later things, too.
Yes.
So I just keep that in mind for that.
My Garnet. She's still busted now.
Garnet is still busted, and on top of that, Garnet plays to 2 of the FRs that are going to be coming relatively soon.
Mm-hmm.
She also plays well to, I think, Lunafreya, because Lunafreya says that it's supposed to be Blizzard, being able to give a buff, and then water. And Garnet has water, so she can technically play well with Lunafreya to some degree.
Yeah. Let's see. Gonna try to get Kane F. Oh, ready for that. Is there a certain point where having an FR is going to be basically necessary to clears? I would say you can probably hold off, like, on pulling on an FR until, let's say, like, mid-July. Maybe if you want to push it far enough, you can hold off until August. Just note that you're gonna be relying more on friend units who have FRs to try to help you speed up the fight, because if not, you're gonna be there for a while.
That is true. That is very true. I think there's a fight where Warren is able to solo one of the Shinryus, but it took a while for him to do that. And on top of that, there was like a lot of delays, and the enemy kept pushing him back, so he ultimately kept attacking them on the enemy's turn. However, just prepare yourselves, because some fights coming up, especially Transcendence 10, is one of those fights where you're going to need
an FR. Like, it is possible to do it without it. Like, it is very much possible, but it is actually, is it possible?
Well, like right now, from every Transcendence stage, from Transcendence 10, when it first showed up, there was an FR used. I don't think that there's been a run without one.
That's what I figured, because, like, okay. So for those who do not know about Transcendence 10, basically, after a certain percentage, the boss literally heals itself for a tremendous amount of HP. At that point, you pretty much need a very strong FR to basically nuke it at that point, because if not, it's just going to recover HP over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Transcendence 10 definitely needs an FR. Like a very good one at best.
And on top of that, you'll be coming across stages in the future that are going to have very restrictive turn count. So you're going to need an FR at some point to really boost your damage overall. Because you can technically run a unit that has high damage, having a high damage unit versus a high damage unit that has extremely high HP damage overall. Like, you can do one unit that maybe has like a mill in there, that has a mill in their kit, but if you only have 40 turns to work with, and you're doing a mill per turn, and the enemy has 60 mil HP, that's literally impossible for you to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody asks, is Lunafreya the most broken FR unit? No. But she is extremely good. She is an extremely good support unit. Like, she does a lot.
I think that goes without saying. We haven't even got to her month yet. We're already talking about it.
Let's see here. Stat-wise, is the FR weapon better than BT or EX? EX.
EX.
So if you have a BT unit, you can max out the FR and then you can sell it. If you have an EX only unit that is just getting an FR, then you can sell the EX, but do not sell the FR. Let's see here. Any other questions before we keep going? I got a question about ultimate weapons. I got sword, greatsword, and spear done. What should I go for next? It depends on what characters you are going to be chasing for. For me, The JP side, I started with both the small sword and the great sword, and then afterwards I decided to focus on special type, or the
special type.
Yeah, special type.
Definitely going to be one that a lot of people should have.
Yes, because special type, there's actually a good amount of there is a very good amount of characters that uses that weapon type, and like they are very good. And so having an ultimate weapon for them will help you out greatly. So I would say you can go with small sword or the special weapon type, but again, it depends on like what units you're going for. Which is another reason why I'm doing this as well, so that way you guys can like figure out like which characters you're going for, and then like if you don't have the ultimate weapon, you can kind of like base off of like, okay, like this many characters has this specific weapon type and this and the other, so I should focus on that one.
Because I think an FR that a lot of people are going to be talking about once they get closer to release is going to be Core again. Core on with his FR and his C90, he gets even more ridiculous, and having an ultimate weapon on top of that makes him a whole lot more damaging really quickly. So a special, because his weapon is special weapon type. I don't know why it's katana, but hey, whatever. That one is a good one that a lot of people should be on the lookout for, because Core does a lot.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like Core, when he got his FR, my God, I used Core so much after he got his rework in his FR. It's like, it was very good.
Another one, I think, another one that should be definitely talked about. I think it's definitely going to probably be sword as well, because there's a lot of sword units that's going to be coming forward. Not like drastically a lot. There's going to be a select few good sword users that are going to be coming forward, and so one of them in particular gets an FR along with the release, and they become fairly much break happy. You want them to break. They are really, really good.
Let's see. Who do you think is the most busted FR unit? Man, there were so many good units out right now. I don't even know if I can answer that.
Well,
here, I was gonna say, just to be funny with Kaiden, but Kadaj, whenever he gets his FR in the future.
You know that he's special, right?
Like, yes, he is very special. He's a mama's boy.
Yeah, no, you're right. 100%. Only mother can love him. But I think that, like, I think we'll talk about it as we go through the stream and as we're talking about FRs. But I can definitely tell you, if you're looking for a very ridiculous FR, it's one that just recently got released, and he was already a busted character when he was C80. When he's C90, he becomes even more ridiculous, and then when he gets FR, he's even more like he's just crazy at that point. And then on top of that, he plays to both on turn, off turn, and just HP damage overall. That dude plays to everything.
So. Okay,
you don't need to think about who I'm talking about. Go ahead, man.
I'm gonna answer one more, and then I'm gonna talk about my plans for August. Is Snow Overflows viable in Shinryu? No,
unfortunately,
it is not. So even though he just got his FR enhancements, it's still the same deal. So Snow Overflow was pretty much like fun shenanigans to do during the last month or so of Lufenia era. So. Anyways, so my plans for August is going to be, and I guess one thing that I should have mentioned at the beginning of the stream is that, my choices, they could potentially change at some point. Plus, Global, they like doing shenanigans and whatnot. They might move some stuff around. They might release a Global first, whatever. So, things may or may not change based off of what I am saying on this stream. So, just wanted to throw that out there. But for FRs, Gabranth I will be picking up again. I do actually enjoy what he gets. I mean, the conditions for his FR are very easy. They're not hard at all. His BT, I will briefly mention, very solid BT. That debuff that gets changed is very nice as well. So, I definitely want to take advantage of that. I need to use them again. It's been a very hot minute since I've used them. So, I will for sure be picking up that kit. Ursula's FR, to be 100% honest with y'all, I only used her maybe twice. So, I'm probably going to hold off on her. She's not bad or anything like that, but, she... I don't know. I guess because of, all the other FRs that I already had, in my box inventory, whatever. Yeah, I didn't really see using her FR that much. Fujin.
Sorry, RK.
Yeah, sorry.
Bro.
I'm just gonna say her name and that's it. Charlotta, 1000%. She is busted. Brave gains queen for the win, baby. 80%. Come to me right now. She is amazing. Her FR, when it comes to the conditions, may not be like all that. They can, like, there are a limited amount of characters that can actually meet both. But like her BT is definitely where it's at. So like, yes, I will be pulling for you again. Reno, 100% will pull for his FR. I love how his FR works. I do not mind getting hit by the enemy. So I will be pulling for his FR 1000%. Cloud of Darkness. I did pull for her FR in JP. I am going to pass up on her on global. Her FR is definitely mainly for her, and that's pretty much it. Like Kaiden mentioned earlier, her and Garland actually do work very well together to meet the FR conditions. So yeah, but regardless of that, I'm probably going to pass up on her FR. So that is my plans for that.
Good to know.
All right. So now we're going to move on to September. So I'm going to go for this one first. So Luna Freya. Yes. Regardless if she's an NPC or not, Cross, or that she dies. Sorry for those who haven't played 15. But like, yes, I will be pulling for her FR and her BT. She does Ice Enchant with her like regular kit. Her FR does actually water enchant, so that's the only way to be able to get the water enchant out of her and whatnot. So her ores and what she does and all the other shenanigans that, like, she does a lot. Like, she really does a lot for one character. In general, she's an excellent support character. I will be pulling for her FR and her BT when it releases. Terra, I did actually get her FR on my outs account. I never really gave her a chance, only because I didn't have the BT. So I am going to I will be pulling for her FR this time because like I mentioned in my Jagon video, like I like playing around with different characters, especially those that I never really gave a chance in the past, and I'm gonna be doing that for Terra. So I will be pulling for her kit. I do believe I do have a BT on my global account, but I can't remember. So yes, I will be pulling for her. Iroha, her FR. Yes, I will be pulling for that because she gets a busted BT later on. So that'll be one less thing for me to worry about. Her conditions for her FR ability, which, by the way, if you guys have any questions about the conditions for these characters, Dissidia DB actually came out with a fantastic little infographic type of thing, whatever you call it, where like Rem basically just put together like everything that you need to know about the FR abilities, and it's really, really convenient. If you guys want the link, I'll go ahead and post it down here for you. It's a really good like site that Rem created, but basically it'll show the force time effects for the character. It'll let you know the HP damage bonus percentages and all that good stuff. Like, it's really, really good, and a big shout out to Rem. Like, he did a lot for this, and this is definitely gonna help out, especially for future in-depth videos, but also for players who are trying to figure out like this and that about a character, or trying to figure out like the conditions. And if this compendium might seem overwhelming at times, well, this right here is much more simplified for you guys. So shout out to Rem. But yeah, that's gonna be. Oh wait, I forgot. I gotta continue. Sabin, however you pronounce his flipping name. I'm probably gonna pass up on this FR. I have his FR. I did pull for it. I did max it out. I used it a couple times. It's not a bad FR. It's just that you have to meet 2 conditions, which he doesn't enchant, which would have been nice if they included that with his FR, but I guess it doesn't. So because of that, because of like all that extra stuff that you have to do with his FR, I'm probably gonna pass up on it. Yuri, whenever he gets his FR in BT, I am very undecided on Yuri. But I'm more lenient towards passing up on him. Like he has like some uniqueness to his kit, but like, eh. Like I'm more leaning towards like probably passing up on him. So as of right now, I am very much undecided. Vayne, I will be pulling for his FR actually. I like what they did to Vayne. Like it's actually pretty good. His rework and whatnot is solid, and his FR just adds more. On top of that, I really enjoyed the amount of times that I used Vayne. And then Core, well, like I mentioned not too long ago, his FR, his rework, and all that good stuff. Yeah, it's very, very good. His FR conditions are pretty good as well, which I'll talk about after Caden discusses what he's going to be pulling for in September. But yes, I will be pulling for his FR. I already have the rest of his kits. So yeah, that's going to be my plans for that month.
That's a tough act to follow. All right. So Lunafreya, I think, is fantastic because the moment she is global, she has a partner right off the bat, and she has Garnet with her right off the bat. Those two working together, I think, would be a fantastic time. And on top of that, you don't need to go in once you are into her FR stance. If you don't happen to have it does enchant water, but like Garnet's also working with her too, so you have multiple ways of attacking. As far as Terra goes, Terra is, as much as I enjoy watching other people's runs of her, like for me, the instant turn rate back-to-back bot, it's never been like a thing for me personally. So yeah. I'm probably gonna pass by this one. Iroha, hands down, yes. This is another FR that I already own. Square Enix just doesn't know it yet. Let's see. Sabin, I feel like if you can run him with the enchanters, if you can run him with enchanters in the team, or run him with calls that can help you hit those elemental, the holy and wind effects, you should be able to get by if you really, really like him. I know that Inkwell is probably going to go for him at some point. You're missed, but at some point, maybe, who knows? But it's a lot of setup just to really get the reward, or really to reap the reward from
exactly.
Saving. And I feel like if we have to jump through that many hoops, I'm probably not going to do it. I want to be able to play the game and think like it's already bad enough that I have a team dedicated to my FR. I don't want to have to do a team dedicated to my FR and have the calls dedicated to it too. It's just a whole lot going on with that, man. And then plus on top of that, if you're using a call during your FR time, you're not really getting the most out of your team at that point.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to do setup, you set up before you go into your FR time, because once you're in FR time, all of your turns count. You have 10 turns of it. Make it work. Yuri is one of those units I think is, as Law said, very unique. I think that his FR effect is very... That's what I put it. As long as you have regen in the team, you'll be able to really get the 30% out of it. Mm-hmm. But two of the effects are going to be holy damage, and it's like off turn. If you have off turn holy damage, it can still apply. And one of the effects is just mainly there for Yuri. The HP regen is a very easy one to pretty much have in the team, and you wouldn't have any issues with it at all. But I think Yuri shines with this BT effect. Not being able to be hit by anything in the game is fairly decent, but then you have other units who have AoE coverage for the team. So it's like, oh man, they gave a BT effect that's really neat, but then at the exact same time they have a character who can do that too. And you should not ever compare units to each other, but you want to look at the easier one to work with. And the easier one to work with would probably be Edge, because you can easily time that, versus Yuri that's a BT effect, but then it's like, are you going to have other units who can take advantage of the BT effect? Like, ultimately, it kind of comes to like how you play it. But that's all I can really say on Yuri. Vayne, though. Vayne I want, without question. Vayne got a very epic, like, just an FR showing, and on top of that, his partner is Arden. So, Vayne I know for sure I want, and on top of that, I already have a good team comp in mind about how I can make those two work, or just the team comp that I plan on running in general. I think that Vayne got a very good update when he gets that as well. And on top of that, he goes from being that unit that everybody talked about being not so great to being able to contend and actually hitting higher damage if you can actually run him in the correct team comp. And then there's Core. I don't think I need to explain that. Core is Core is Core. He's been destroying things on his release. And on top of that, his FR's conditions are pretty much ridiculously easy to hit. However, his FR condition is pretty much aimed at brave damage. Being able to deal brave damage is what matters with him.
Yes. So
yeah.
one thing that I wanted to mention about Core is that, like Kaiden said, you have to deal at least 9,999 brave damage, and then the other one is going to be to trigger an off-turn attack. Well, here's the thing: there is one character by the name of Type Zero's 8. So 8 with his counterattacks is actually able to, since he does have 2 counterattacks because that's how his whole kit is built up and whatnot, he can actually increase it twice with that off-turn damage. So like if you have units that do trigger a counter, like an off-turn damage or a counterattack outside of a course turn, then you can actually increase it more than just the 5%. So you gain with 8, you'll technically get a 10% if he evades an attack and then he does his counter attack and whatnot. So yeah, like his you can potentially increase Core's FR ability or Core's HP damage bonus a little bit more higher if you paired him up with 8, but in general though, like Core would work well with, like with Gladiator. Like I've used Core and Gladiator so many times just because it's so easy. It's just like counter, off turn. So there are of course other units. I mean Core and Kane, because Kane technically counts for that off turn attack. Shoot, who else we got going on? Yang is another character that I have used myself actually, and if he does actually get like hit, then he actually triggers both his counterattacks, so that'll be 10% right there. So Galoof is another one, yes. And I believe that's it in terms of that. So yeah, I wanted to briefly mention about that. Go ahead and answer. I'm gonna go ahead and answer a few other questions real quick. I had one that I wanted to answer. Oh, is the enhanced points can be purchased now? The enhancement points, the regular enhancement points, as of right now, I think the only time that appeared was during anniversary.
That is true.
I don't think I've seen him outside of that. Let's see here. Not a question about FR, but I have an abundance of EX weapons max, and most of the EXs I also have the LDs with. Can I just sell the EXs because I need red ingots bad? If they are an EX only unit, no. If they are like a B2 unit, you can. Lost or question. I'm tempted to roll for the judge for when he comes out. I got his LD. Should I go for it after Kane, then save for a Tifa, or get Kane and then just hold? What you think?
On Gabranth?
Yes.
So Gabranth has a very easy setup with his FR, and on top of that, his BT effect is ridiculously nice. It has fairly good debuffs built into it. I think that when it comes down to Gabranth, it kind of comes down if you're going to be running another breaker with him, because if he's your only breaker, he's your only source of FR, like the FR gauge buildup at that point. You're always going to be able to hit debuffed enemies because they are going to always have debuffs on them. But I would definitely think about running a force breaker with him.
Yes.
If you like him and if you want to run him, run a force breaker with him. So that way you have 2 ways to build the FR, not just Gabranth. But Gabranth by himself should be able to protect the party to some degree. And you're going to need a way to keep the party healthy outside of HP damage. If you can technically run, I'm trying to think of a force breaker who would actually be fairly decent. If you have Sephiroth, I know that a lot of people probably won't have him, but you don't necessarily need a force breaker if Sephiroth is in the team. He's also, again, one of those units that if you get the FR gauge high enough, Sephiroth can shred an enemy's HP relatively quick.
Exactly.
And on top of that, Sephiroth makes it to where everybody can break every turn. So you don't have to worry too much about it. It just kind of sort of comes into the play of how you plan on running your team comp. But I believe Gabranth will work well for anybody. It just kind of sort of depends on how you're running Gabranth and making sure that he has the proper teammates to help hit the FR gauge.
Yeah. So it just depends, like, if you are wanting, honestly, I think, like, depending on how your resources are looking, I think both would be good because, like, Kane is, like, one of, like, the top characters to be used in the Shinryu era, especially with off-turn damage, just going to speed up the fights for you. Gabranth, I mean, he's a very solid debuffer. Like 100%, and that BT on top of that just like makes it even better because like that debuff that gets changed is it's nice. It's actually really good. So it really depends on like what you're needing, like how your roster is looking at as well. That's another thing to note is like looking at your roster and like you just think to yourself like, is this a character that you actually need, and if this going to be a character that you're going to be like that you're going to make sure you're going to get that use out of them. So that's really all I can say about that.
And I would definitely make a quick mention of this. There shouldn't be a situation if you should pick one unit over the other. As Law said earlier, look at your roster and make sure that things are going to be things are going to be fitting to your playstyle. You're going to need DPS, and Kane fulfills that role. But Gabranth has DPS in his kit. It may not be as high as Kane, but he has DPS in his kit. He has the ability to reduce HP damage taken. He has the ability to increase HP damage on the enemy. He has the ability to really just keep your team protected overall and reduce brave damage incoming on your team too. Yeah. So he doesn't have like a lot of defensive brave properties, but when it does come down to it, he does have the ability to straight up block some HP damage coming in. Not like down to zero, but he has the ability to mitigate HP damage and coming to his group. He also has delay properties where if he can do a force break, you can definitely delay an enemy if you have another delayer working with him too. Mm-hmm. So it isn't a matter of which one you should pick up. It's just a matter of if you really think that you're going to need it and how you can best use it. And if you're going to be using it one and done, then don't do it. If you're going to be using it multiple times, then go for it.
Yeah, exactly. Real quick before I forget, GX Slime, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you so much. Let's see here. There was another question I had. Where you at? Oh, do these partner characters have to be built for the FRs to do damage? No, that's just like animation and whatnot. Let's see. There's a YouTube channel that clears all Shinryu easily with Sephiroth, Burst Effect, and Dorgan. Yeah, because both of them together are like stupid good. Dorgan is stupid good.
Yo, me and Lost, we were doing testing, and I'm just like, Lost, just run this team comp, and Lost is just like, I don't think that's gonna work. I'm like, dude, just do it. What happened, Lost? Tell the people what happened.
It worked out, and Kaiden was giggling in the background, and my game was just playing itself.
So he killed the fight so fast, and he killed it during BT phase, and he's like, I don't think I'm going to kill it during BT phase. I'm like, look, Lost, trust me. Yeah, no, he kills it during BT phase, and he's just like, all right, never mind.
Let's see.
Oh man, good times.
Let's see. What other questions? As a free-to-play unit, wait, hold on. Which unit would you recommend to do our content? If you're free to play, I would definitely say go for like Kane and Cam.
Go in Kane. I agree, but I would definitely say do a non-elemental attacker. Definitely do that. You'll be shooting yourself in the foot after you pick an elemental character, and the element get blocked. Do a non-elemental character too. There you go.
Yeah. Do you need to upgrade a character's FR partner? No, it's just for animation. Couldn't Dorgan trigger his follow-up twice? Yes. If he breaks somebody while he does his follow-up, then yes, it'll trigger twice. What is this website? I will post the link here in just a second. Hopefully it pops up. Give me a second. Hopefully that works. Let's see here. Again, thank you GX Slime for becoming a member. Would Ferris counter count? It should. Yeah, because really all you just need is just off-turn damage and that's it. So it should count. Let's see here. So if Nacho got an FR, what would his effect be?
El Nacho, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Nacho. Nacho Libre.
El Nacho. if it has to be an FR like Camelot, I'm fairly certain it'll be playing to what the character can do. Camelot has ice, and on top of that, that's one of the conditions. And the enemy being able to unable to act or paralysis put on them, which is also Camelot. So if anything, I would think like being able to turn or acting on an enemy turn would be Elnarsh because of Terra, or making an enemy unable to act would also probably be Elnarsh because it's still being when Terra is on the field or applied to an enemy, they cannot act, and he'll turn right on their turn at that point.
Let's see. Is it safe to sell an FR if they are not max? I mean, unless you're planning to not use that FR at all, then that's up to you. If it's max, then yes, go sell it. But only if they are a BT unit. If they are just an EX unit getting an FR, then don't sell it. Let's see. It was another question. Is Jack the best FR character? I mean, he's a damn good damage dealer right now. Still is.
It is very hard to compare something to Jack Garland. Jack Garland hits really hard.
Let's see here. The best unconventional. I can't read. FR.
There's a couple of FRs that fit that category because like we haven't talked about them yet, but as soon as we get there, I'm fairly certain me and Lost are probably going to fangirl out over him.
Oh, probably.
Like he's just one of those units that was awesome at C80, got a BT even better. He got C90, got even more damage output, and then got an FR. So like, don't worry, we'll talk about it, and I'm fairly certain we'll be
we will.
Also, found out I didn't see your question. There's a lot of units who are like to that category of question.
Let's see. Aiming for Kane's FR when it's released. Me too. People can say whatever they want. I'm crazy. Y'all should know. I green Dragon.
Yo, good on you. Good on you.
Let's see here. If the enemy can be broken, Jack Gauntlet kind of just destroys it. Yes. Even though I did see a gameplay where somebody still used Jack, regardless of the enemy not being able to get broken.
That's a hardcore Jack fan.
Yes, it is.
He's just waiting on Neon at this point. I read.
Who has a better FR animation, Shalada or Jesse? Jesse. Animation-wise, yes. Laughter, Shalada.
Bro.
I said, is Jack Garland the most broken unit, and why is the answer yes? So, I think... I'm not going to say he's the most broken unit. I mean, like, he's a extremely high damage DPS unit. But the biggest thing is going to be because of his BT effect, giving him that fixed damage, like based on the max wave cap up.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is though, like on his final HP dump is where that fixed damage is like it looks like it just triples.
Without FR timing.
Yeah.
Like with FR timing, it's ridiculous. Dude.
Favorite FR unit right now. Mine would have to. Damn, that's a good amount that I have actually.
I can never tell you right now. Iroha, but that's just me personally.
I mean, I have been using Iroha, or I haven't been using her. No, because I've been using more of a BT. Let's see. I would say my favorite right now, and it would have to be Machina's.
Tifa cries in the corner. Tifa cries in the corner.
Yeah, like I mean, it's okay. Okay, female FR favorite Tifa. Male would be Machina.
He just got to correct himself, guys.
Let's see. Jack Garland with Sephiroth good combo. Actually, no. And the reason why I say that is because of his FR condition.
Yep.
Yeah, they need to remain broken. Because if they're broken at the end of the turn, at the end of your either himself or the character's turn, they have to be broken to get that additional HP damage bonus. If they're not broken, then let's see.
Some characters work well together. Some characters do not.
Yeah. All right. They mentioned Jack Garland at the end of anniversary stream. What's the likelihood we get him early? Seems odd to mention him as soon.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt they will bring him early. The only thing that I can think of that they would consider would be bringing one of the other characters from the cast to global as a global first, but I highly doubt they would bring him early, especially because he's part of story.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's a part of story. So think of it like this: if they're gonna bring a character forward, they're gonna bring a character forward that has not been touched, and on top of that, if they do bring a character forward, it's probably gonna be like a sideline character. That way, it isn't like a main character. For example, they brought Garnet way earlier, and on her re-release, they released her BT again as well. So if they do a side character of like of a lost chapter or something like that, then it's easier to put a banner next to it that has the exact same things that character is missing. So that way you don't miss out on it if you skip it the first time. However, if you're talking about like a character who got update recently, then that kind of makes it harder because at this point you'll have a character that's 8 or 6 months down the line that's ridiculously strong and bringing them to current content, and they'll be crushing content.
Yeah,
it kind of is like,
yeah.
Why do you need to pull when you can crush something that's 8 months ahead of time? Like, no, that's like them trying to release Hope early. That is just a major shoot yourself in the foot moment. They wouldn't do that.
All right, last question, and I will continue answering questions after we go over October. How is Fusoya? Fusoya is actually not bad.
I like his character.
Yeah, his kid is actually not bad. The nice thing about it is that like he inflicts paralysis, right? But the thing is though, he is able to actually add more turns to it. So yeah, that can actually come in handy. So yeah, he's actually not bad. He's an overall good unit. So all right, so now we're moving on to October, and I kind of wish I would have gone first, but it is actually Kaiden's turn.
All right, looks like I get to start off with Tifa. All right, let's do this. So Tifa, due to her fight, I believe, is one of the first.
Very first Spiritus fight.
Yeah, Spiritus. That fight is rough if you don't have the DPS for it. And Tifa comes in and she just kind of crushes it. I have definitely seen runs without Tifa, but those runs without Tifa literally went to every trick to the trade. They mastered every turn. They knew exactly what they were doing, and they had to do setup. It's like with featured character, you're going to have an easier time. Without featured character, it's going to feel like it's damn near impossible, but it can be done. Possible. It's just very hard.
One thing I want. One thing I do want to add, real quick. One thing that I do want to add about the Spiritus, just think of Spiritus fight as if it's a Shinryu with like Lufenia conditions in it, just that the orb is not there. And there are like multiple conditions depending on the HP threshold that you have to like basically like do before a certain amount of turns, or you have to get this done. It's crazy. Like Spiritus is like on a whole new. It's not like a whole new level difficulty, but like it's like added to like what we put up with Shinryu.
I was gonna say, I think of Spiritus like this. You already have to do a dance, and then they put like a flaming circle in front of you and tell you to jump through it. If you don't, you die. That's just how you gotta work with that, kids. But Tifa's FR is very easy to hit as long as you have single target damage dealers in the team, and Tifa's going to be acting a lot during her FR time. But other than that, that's about it. I really like Ryudo, or Liud, if you really want to go there. His FR is very simple and very easy to manage. It isn't that bad, but ideally you'll be able to pretty much have the HP recovery down packed. But it isn't something that you need, but it's something that actually feels pretty decent if you have it. It actually does the job really well. Ferris is a unit that I really do enjoy, but because she's a debuffer and she's she has a lot of debuffs built into her kit, he kind of sort of hurts me a little bit because of my favorite Saga runner. Those two in one party, that's all the debuff slots. Let's see. The FR for her is not going to be like 20, 30. It'll be like 5 and 5. Mm-hmm. But her FR ability is definitely going to be there if you can have like a water enchanter in there with her as well, or attacking a debuff target. So it's very easy to manage. Arden, hands down, getting. I enjoy Arden. I'm going to get that FR without question. Being able to inflict instant breaks or melee attacks are very easy for you to do because a lot of people have a lot of good melee attackers. And at the time of this release of this FR, there's a lot of good melee attackers going on here. Being able to inflict and melee abilities as well also applying to him. It's even more on him, but for the other party members, it should be easier to maintain.
Yeah.
Then there is Renoa. I'm kind of conflicted by her a little bit. I think that she is busted as hell, but at the exact same time, I'm like, really? Do I really need that much firepower? And if you do get her FR, I think her FR is fantastic. Her FR is ridiculously strong. Just for me, I'm conflicted because it's like, she has made me very mad because of because of Final Fantasy, and I'm just like, I guess.
Oh my God.
We'll see. that one's we'll see. Aerith coming up. I think I really, really like Aerith, and her FR effect is fairly interesting to keep. You're definitely going to want like a Brave Charger with her, or like a Brave Battery with her, but that one isn't too bad. And then there's Balthier, and Balthier is very fun if you can like steal buffs. And I've definitely seen a YouTuber who has been running Balthier all over the place. But for me, his FR condition is going to be counterproductive to the character I plan on running, because the character I plan on running dispels buffs, and he probably won't get a chance to snatch them. So I'm not going to chase this one because it's counterproductive to the team that I want. But I think that his FR is very strong if people are going to be picking it up, though.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm still kind of surprised with Renoa. Like I was expecting you to be like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna pull for her.
No. Okay. So here's my thought process on her. The fact that she has a very interesting setup, like she has used magic abilities. If I'm running Iroha, I have no problem with running her. But most of my team comps that I'm running are physical, so only really, like realistically, only she would be able to fulfill that HP condition. So it's like, I don't want to put her in a team comp that does not cater to her, and a lot of the team members that I use will not cater to her in the slightest bit. As much as that's the reason I'm saying I'm conflicted. So it's like, if I do an all physical team, cool. If I do an all magic team, I'll instantaneously put her in there if I get her. But there's a lot more times you'll catch me running physical teams than you will catch me running magic teams.
Oh, okay, interesting. All right. All right, so me, Tifa, yes, obvious. I mean, FF7 is my game, so play the original, not the remake. But freaking remake. Yes, no, 1000% Tifa. That's my girl for sure. I will be pulling for her entire kit. Leud, I didn't pull for his F4. I think after Tifa, I think I had to pity something with Tifa, so I was kind of broke. So I'm a little bit unsure with Leud if I will be pulling for his kit or not. What is his condition? Oh, look, speak of the devil.
It is to activate a stage-based buff or special effect, and on top of that, recovering HP.
Oh, that's actually pretty easy.
Yeah, pretty easy to.
That's very easy. Yeah, that's like 60+%. Okay, that's not too bad of a condition. Plus, I mean, he does get a rework, so I mean, there's actually okay. Now I'm curious, what the hell was this rework?
His rework becomes fairly decent. His EX becomes like one of the biggest hit buttons again. His LD is something that you want to press, but you don't need to press it all the time.
Well, I'm more leaning because I mean, like Leud definitely has some very solid auras, but like that's what I was more curious about. So they gave him with his EX passive, double brave damage up, double brave gains up, and this is self by the way. Stolen and gained a double that as well, and now he grants 2 stacks of Stirring Melody, which I believe is his...
big buff.
Okay.
The big buff.
Okay, that's what I... Oh, right, because it's the stack one. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. And then his LD, they only gave his LD potency. Wow.
He didn't really need much. Just the EX change. And
the EX change. So basically, he hits harder. Okay. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I'm still undecided on him. I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna do with Leud. I'm Mediterranean though. It's getting a rework.
All right.
Let's see here. Ferris with her FR, my alt account managed to pull for it. It's actually not a bad FR when you look at it. So basically attacking a debuffed enemy. I mean, it's Ferris. That's that's easy.
So
And
the
then
thing that he's forgetting to mention though on that, it's +5 per debuff.
I was
Plus
getting
five
there. It
per
says it
debuff,
right
kid.
here.
Okay, fair enough. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, you hear this guy? Look at him.
Yo, I enjoy debuffs. What can I say?
I see that. No, I lost
sorry.
that. She is. So it is per debuff, and then use a water ability. Off-turn attacks included, which is not bad. So I guess like a water enchant would be. Do we have water enchant calls?
We do. Garnet.
Oh, right.
We do. It's Lydia.
For those who are in chat, I can't remember every single thing. I might be a CC and whatnot, but like I can't remember everything. I'm not a robot.
That's the reason why he has me in the background.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so her conditions are fairly easy to meet.
Very easy to manage.
Yeah, and Garnet in her banner too. Funny enough.
I think that is when she gets her enhancement.
Yes. So I'll probably throw some tickets at her. Why not? So yeah, because the conditions are really easy. So it's not too hard at all to meet that. Arden 1000%. That man gets a rework and an FR, and that man becomes busted. I don't care what anybody says. Shout out to Yoshi Pasta, who runs our Arden like a madman. But yes, Arden, he is extremely worth for his FR, and the rework just adds so much more on top of it, man. Like I sold 11 with Arden, if that tells you anything. So, and I sold at the middle gate.
Oh no.
So for those who like solos and whatnot, Renoa, I'm still kind of surprised by your answer. I don't know why. So
physical themes.
Copium.
Oh no.
So Renoa, like she becomes like with that changed HP command after you use her BT effect. Like it's a very hard hitting one. Her FR, when it comes to meeting the conditions, where you at, homegirl? There you are. So she has 4 conditions. So use a magic ability, have an active special effect, which I assume is going to be like an overhead or whatever. Let's see. Her own HP is below 100% of her at the end of her turn, and then own HP. Oh, okay. So own HP would be for the teammates, and then the same thing would be for her. So I mean, technically it's like 3, but yeah, close enough. So her FR is not hard to meet at all, so long as you have her BT. I mean, obviously you could use her skill 2 to chop off some HP, if I'm correct. She's basically a very solid magic DPS unit. I'll probably chase for her again. So, and I may actually consider getting her outfit because I did it in JP. Let's see here. Aerith, her FR conditions, they're not too bad. It's just basically using a change brave or HP attack command, and then recover other allies brave, and then it's the same thing with Aerith, which is not that hard to do. I mean, like, there are a good amount of characters that have a change HP command, so that won't be too difficult. But like, really the biggest thing about her is going to be her rework. Her rework makes her like stupid good, and I have used her a very good amount of times just because of how good she is. So yeah, I mean, for those who watch my JP runs, like, yeah, I've used her a very good amount. About the air, pulled for his FR. Yeah, I will. I'll probably pass up on his FR, to be honest with you. So, because I don't really see much about it. So, like, yeah, I'm not going to go too crazy for his FR. So he gets a night's rework, though. Does that count?
No, that does not count. So just to make sure that everybody's aware, Balthier has a very, very powerful FR if he can act majority of the times, and if you have a way to steal with off turn. So if you have a way to steal buffs, his FR effect can ramp up relatively quick. However, if he's not getting a lot of turns, it becomes very problematic. And if the enemies aren't getting turns to buff themselves, that also kind of makes it problematic too. So using being able to hit an enemy with a range attack and being able to use range damage, you won't have any issues with it in the slightest bit.
Yeah.
So hitting an enemy that doesn't have buffs and does not have that's also rage damage, you'll be able to build it relatively quick. But the big one you want is for you to be able to steal buffs, and that's 80. And that's kind of if the enemy's not buffing themselves, it's like he can still participate in fights where enemies don't buff themselves. It's just you're going to get way less in comparison, and you can probably do a faster and a bigger setup with somebody else.
Mm-hmm. All right, get to a few questions. What's the worst FR unit in your opinion? Like FR unit in general?
Ooh, I don't want to answer this question.
I'll wait until you tell me like FR in general or just FR weapon. Let's see here. Keep on. No, why did it just do that? Stop it.
Definitely say an FR condition that I don't like, that I'm not happy with. It's like you have an FR that's catered to a unit, and it's like only Fujin can hit the requirement, and it's only when Fujin launches. It's just like what? Oh my god, there's so many things wrong with it. I kind of hope that she gets an FR rework really quickly. Like I pray to God that they do something with her. Being able to hit wind damage, that's fine. I think that because she's able to enchant the team, that's one thing. But launch an enemy, and you can easily set up a launch, but it's only applied to Fujin. It's just like, oh, okay. Sure, why not, I guess. That Raid's called Sophie. I guess I'm just going to have to just wait till it's Fujin's turn to get that 40, I guess. It's not bad. It's just you're getting 20 a turn unless it's Fujin. And I'm just like, oh, that's not the greatest, but okay.
I got Ferris and FFB, and her spider's real cute. Let's see. Do you think Nacho deserves a better rework?
I think at C90, the C91 that he got with the 6-man, I think it actually was fairly decent. That one is actually really good.
Yeah, there's actually a small content creator that I watch here and there that has used El Naj a good amount, and yeah, no, I think he's fine where he stands right now. What kind of rewards are we looking at when we complete a Shinryu fight? You're gonna get the FR fragments. FR fragments and like 3 tickets.
I think another thing to talk about with Elnarsh is because of the fact that people are looking at the fact that if it's a single target fight, I think his damage output is way lower. But if it's a multi-target fight, his damage output is ridiculously high. That dude is being able to drop 1 million per target is one thing, but being able like if you're having like a character do 1 million per turn, that's fairly decent. And on top of that, that's going to become the standard that we're going to be dealing with going forward. But being able to drop 1.2 mil on 2 targets, you just did 2.4, and like that, like he does a lot of damage, and he is chomping stuff off. And if he can be really active during a high FR gauge, there's a guy named Doritos who has been running Final Fantasy 11 teams, and he recently did one with the Jesse event. Go check it out. I highly recommend him because in a 3-target fight, Elnar shreds things to death. Elnar will shred something relatively quick.
Arif gives out taxes for flowers.
Oh man.
Let's see. Min will give those sticks Daddy made.
We'll talk about Minwoo.
Yeah,
and I think Sideways is still going to shoot me on sight for the comments I have.
Oh god.
Bro.
Let's see. Should EX plus weapons be sold and FR weapons equipped? If they are not a BT unit, then yes. Let's see. 3 tickets. No. It's 3 tickets in like 3 general tickets in general, and then like you get, I think it's 20 or 40 FR fragments. I know there's JP players in chat. You can correct me. It's one of the 2. What's an FR? Do I regret building? Ooh. That's a very good question. Well, yeah, Braska, definitely. No, but if you don't count Braska, I would say it's between like Sabin and Ursula.
Really? Yeah. That's interesting. Okay.
So yeah, it's between those 2.
Fair enough. Because with Ursula, it is a lot easier than you think to fulfill her FR requirements. Sabin, I get. Sabin 100%, because Sabin does not enchant the team. So I'm like, you have to run an additional character. But Ursula is very easily to maintain. I'm very surprised by that. But okay, I mean, to each his own.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it is 20 F4 fragments. Got it. Okay, so yeah, 20. That's what I figured. But I think in general, like for the whole event, don't you get like 40 or something? I don't know. No. You get 20. Yeah, you get 20. Yes. Because if you do max out an F4, then you get 2 stone fragments. Yeah. It is 20. Okay. Who do you think will be the Global First FR unit? I mean, at this point, it just seems like Global First FR is from Final Fantasy 15, so it's probably gonna be somebody from Final Fantasy 15.
Yo, Gladio is Global First FRBT. Let's go.
Oh my god, that'd be insane.
Let's go, kids. Don Hammer for the win.
Let's see. No, but in all seriousness, 14 needs some love for sure.
14 needs it because Justola's just sitting there being the only BT representative.
Just there, and like I've not played Tactics, so like I can't really say Tactics because I've never played the game, but I know Tactics. I know Tactics players are wanting some like attention as well. But so yeah, I'm right there with y'all. Cause yeah, like I either want a new 14 character or at least one of our 14 characters to have a freaking FR.
I think at this point, I think Thunder God Sid from Tactics is the most iconic character that a lot of people were talking about, or Delita. Delita would probably won, and he could be the antagonist that a lot of people are looking out for. Yeah. But it's very. I'm not gonna say it's very hard to implement them. I just think that when it does come down to it, like what would their skills be? Like what would their buffs be? Like how would they interact with other teammates?
Yeah.
Would they be hostile to Ramza when they show up? Would they be, like ideally it kind of comes down to like how each character is introduced. Because in story, they have talked about characters before they kind of show up. Like Seiss was one that was talked about in the main story, and then she was just like, "Yo, it was Layla." Layla's like, "Oh, I seen somebody who was wearing your outfits," and it's just like they could probably do something like that. But
yeah,
like there are multitudes of characters that could probably be like that thing. But let's be honest, they'll probably stick another FF9 Global First in there because they just keep handing out FF9 Global First.
Yeah, because it was 9, then 15, then. Who was the previous one before Core?
Let me see. It was VVLD first, then it was Vincent, and I think it was Balthier. Then it was Beatrix. Then it was, the first Global First ever was Beatrix. Then it was Arnea.
Freaking the Chaos Killer.
Then it was Tor as Global First characters. LD's Global First. We got VV, we got Vincent, and then we got Balthier.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry. Yeah, I think it's probably in that order. But pretty much.
Okay. So, let's see. Anything else before we continue? Let's see. What's an FR you're looking forward to on global? Or just in general? Edgar Global First FR. Oh my god. You're killing me.
And give me a chance to get his LD.
Cloud needs an FR. I'd be happy with that. No, Zach needs an FR.
Thank you. The real fan voice is spoken.
That's what I want. There you go. That's what I'm looking forward to. Zach FR.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad if there was like a villain from like Advent Children that got one. Just saying, but I'll take Zach though. I'll take Zach with that question.
Let's see here. Also, people were mentioning Xenos. I wouldn't mind Xenos, but I definitely wouldn't mind Emmett Cell.
Emmett or Xenos, I would be fine with
as a villain because we don't have a villain in 414 in DFFOO.
Or if they introduced the new character, Hethel Deus, if they introduced him, I would be very happy to pick him up too.
Wait, who?
That dude is funny. I enjoyed his character.
Wait, who?
The only character in the main game to get on Emmett's nerves. I appreciate it.
Oh. Let's see here. I think I'm caught up with everything. I think. Also, if you guys haven't liked the stream yet, please make sure to do so. You guys already know that helps me out. And if anybody wishes to become a member, it only costs $1. And you guys already know it supports me and the fam and all that good stuff. So, if you do become a member, thank you so much ahead of time. And, yeah, let's go. So November, Minwoo. Minwoo. No. Okay. In all seriousness, Minwoo, he's.
Uh-huh.
I think he's a very, very, very good character. Very, very good. His BT is stupid good. Like his FR complements his BT. Like he's a very solid character. I freaking net. I really like his kit. Like it's really really good. So I will be pulling for his kit for sure. Vaughn FR, yeah, very easy condition to meet. My God. So his FR conditions, I know the main one is going to be have free ability use, which he basically grants free ability use to the entire party as soon as you trigger his FR ability. So it makes like increasing the his FR gauge like super easy. So he does get another rework. He becomes more busted, all that good stuff. It's Vaughn. What else do I gotta say? So yeah, Vaughn for sure. I will be pulling for his kit. Hope 1000% will be pulling for his FR. For obvious reasons, he increases the HP damage bonus extremely high. He makes Sugar Mama Anna Cross look very very nice whenever she gets her rework later on. Yeah, Hope very 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 good. Oh, and his overhead becomes like majorly like upgraded, busted with the party ores and whatnot that he offers. So yeah, that's one thing to note on that. Thick Leg Celeste, for sure. I will be pulling for her FR, her FR and her BT. You heard me.
Yo.
So yes.
Oh, okay.
What?
Nothing. No, go continue.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
I threw Kaiden off with that one. Yeah, Celeste, like overall, she gets a very solid rework. Her BT is really good. Her FR conditions is easy to meet. I will be pulling for her 100%. Aranea, I may actually skip her. Just because I only use it for her event and that's about it. So, yeah. Dorgon, yeah, I mean, we talked about it earlier. Him and Sephiroth together they're like best friends. So I will be pulling for Dorgon. My God, I can't English. Go ahead. I'm done. Good Lord.
Mic drop. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Minwoo, I'm looking forward to him to some degree. He definitely comes back with another character that I'm very interested in. He comes back with Locke, and I really am looking forward to seeing how well he plays. I'm looking forward to really getting a chance to like put it through his paces myself personally. Vaughn, I have to contemplate on him, but I know that Vaughn's ridiculously high damage. Again, I have very bad habits of running physical attackers versus running magic attackers, and Vaughn is like one of those units that's just like a magic attacker, and it's like, oh, all right, I'll deal with it when I get to it. Hope, for sure, without question, I'm pulling. The reason why I'm pulling for Hope is not because of the fact of how busted he is, it's because of the fact that he makes enemies hit for ones. Literally having both he has the ability to put on a lot of buffs at the exact same time, charge the FR gauge ridiculously quick, and on top of that, protect and shell in your team. You have to worry about nothing when Hope is in the team, or damage being aimed at the team. I don't know how to express the name that Lost gave Celeste earlier, but
thick thighs.
I'm just gonna call it general. Look that name.
Look, I'm just being honest with y'all. Yeah, like people in my chat, y'all already know I'm gonna be blunt. I'm gonna be honest about it. So I mean, I have no shame.
All right. So he has a type. So with Celeste, I think if I really did get it, I would be happy with it, but I don't think I'm gonna be suffering without it. However, I do want her BT though. Her BT I want. Arnea is one that I like because of the fact that there's another unit that I like running, and if I really, really have to run delay, I can actually run delay with Garland with her, and be able to hit the delay on the FR charge, and be able to hit the brave damage, the critical brave damage as well. Those two being able to work together, you should have a very easy time keeping an enemy back.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just those two working together. If I really have to go a delay route, Garland is one of my favorites to run for delay. Arnea is another one that I really like running for delay. Leo is a unit that I really love running for delay, and on top of that, he excels at increasing HP damage on a single target. So Aranea does a lot of single target with some of her skills, not all of them, but just some of them,
Yeah.
and being able to break an enemy and send it flying backwards. On top of having that Leo HP, that additional attack coming with a Leo, those three work ridiculously well together. So I don't mind RNA, and I probably will be picking her up just for that team comp. Durgan is, I mean, it's very self-explanatory with Durgan, and on top of that, this is the reason why I've said before: get a non-elemental attacker, because he has wind in his kit, and a lot of fights are just straight up where we don't care about wind. So after, like, on his release, he's really, really badass. Then I think like 2 or 3 events afterwards, he kind of gets cucked a little bit, but he comes back.
Just a little bit.
They will always block wind, so he'll come back at some point.
I like how my chat is just laughing at Bardoff about my comment.
I mean, I apparently, and like I would slack John because I was trying to figure out why would you call her, but then it's like I can't.
Bro,
I can't
have you seen her first costume, like where she's just throwing straight legs? I'm sorry.
No.
That's the first thing I noticed when I saw the outfit.
No, it's okay. We all have a type, and I now know your type.
Damn right. Shit.
Oh, it's okay. Either way, I am looking at her respectfully. That's all you need to know.
Oh, I'm looking at her respectfully too.
Yeah, I can't tell, but it's okay. Moving on, we are now going into the next month. We have Sid Reigns right off the bat. Again, this is another one of these fights where having the featured units will help you drastically, and not having one of the featured units will actually hurt you. This fight is one of them. Sid Reigns got a very, very badass FR, and his FR partner is Bane. So instantaneous. I'm going to grab this. I am willing to pity, and I'll give 400 G tokens if I have to. Anacro, I want. Anacro, I want because of how awesome she is, and on top of that, her FR partner is Hope. I don't mind that part, but those two working together, you have the two Gundams working together, even better. I'm sorry, Zeta, I really am, but it is what it is. The FR condition on her is not that easy to maintain, but as long as she's in the team, you will be able to hit for large amounts of damage. She has just been known. I think there was a content creator who did the Jesse event with her and just straight up killed.
Oh, I seen that. I seen that. That was funny.
With 4 turns.
Yes.
And I'm just like, just Anna. Just Anna. Just Anna. just Anna. That's all you need to know. Lil said, I think that her FR is extremely good.
And it's so easy to me, too.
Yeah, like it's very, very easy to maintain. I enjoy the fact that she gets a lot, like she got a good rework.
Yes.
Like it wasn't like that major, but she got a good touch up. I really do enjoy that. And her FR is just ridiculously easy to maintain. Seymour, this is going to be one of those topics that I talked about.
Seymour, eh?
Seymour he's great as the fight progresses, but at the start he struggles. That's the only time he struggles is at the start of the fight. But I think a lot of people have asked me, am I gonna get his FR because Kadash is his partner? I'm getting his FR because he's debuff supremacy. I'm not getting his FR because Kadash, but Kadash is there, so it's like I'm not mad. Let's see.
So you're just chasing his FR and that's it?
No, I'm getting his FR and BT. Like,
oh, okay.
I know I'm gonna get a copyright claim for every video I have him in, but I don't care.
Yeah, believe me, I got hit with 2 copyright claims on my Jack vid because FF7 music, which I thought I had the music at a low enough volume, and after like 4 of those fights with the same team comp done over and over with lower volume, it still didn't kick in. I'm like, you know what? Forget this mess. So yeah, thanks FF7. I love you, but at the same time, like your OST gives me copyright claims.
Yeah, I mean I don't know if you realize this, but Final Fantasy VII is probably
the cash
one of the biggest. Yeah, keep it in it. You should be very surprised. Let's see. Maria is a unit that I'm looking forward to. Her FR conditions are very easy to manage to some degree. It's not always going to be easy to manage because if an enemy is immune to debuffs, you lose half of it. But other than that, it's not too bad, actually, if you can find a way to maintain an enemy's brave. But I really, really like her setup for her FR. Would I go after it? I'm definitely thinking about throwing tickets at it. I just think that for me, if I get it with tickets, perfect. If not, I'm not going to be too hurt. I'm not going to be like too hurt missing it. Yuna, Yuna, I'll chase that FR. And there are multiple reasons why I want this FR. Having debuff evasion while this FR is active is one thing. I enjoy that. But making sure that nobody in the team has debuffs when she has debuff evasion in this FR, it's very easy to manage this. Like that FR is super easy to manage. And on top of that, it goes up more when you have allies in the team who use converted HP or Brave commands, and it's easy to run Aerith. It's easier to run Charlotta, and it's easy to run like other units who have like those transform HP commands. So at this point, you have 4 major units who are able to really be able to work well with her.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so Sid Reigns, I will more than likely pull for him. Like, the only reason why I'm pulling for his like kit in general is because like I like the fact that he flies in once you have his BT effect active.
Excuse me, it's like come in like a death jet.
It literally comes in like a fighter jet. I'm like, yeah, you sold me with that.
Yeah.
Like, look, there are some players that get sold by animations, and like, there's some players that get sold by music, like Machina's theme, right?
Yes, that is true. I'm one of those victims.
So, like, when I saw like Sid Reigns animation, I'm like, I could care less about what your mess does. Like, I just want it for the animations, just cause like, it's awesome. No, but in general, though, like his overall kit, the rework kit he gets and whatnot, just like makes him like I mean, he's still a good character in my opinion now. But like but of course, since a lot of these units like slightly fall off because of how things are or what's going on and whatnot, in the era, when he came back with his rework, his FR and his BT, like Sid Reigns is definitely worth it, especially if you enjoy launching and whatnot. Like he's for sure worth. Anna Crow, I didn't really use her FR, even though I do have her FR, but mainly like the thing about her is like going to be like her rework. It's a very solid rework, like good upgrades and whatnot. And I mean, like, you know, as Kaiden said, like there have been a good amount of JP players that will use her just to like basically like 3-shot the freaking enemies and that's it. Especially especially like whenever you like the most common pairing with her is going to be her and Hope, because Hope is just like skill 1, skill 2, skill 1, skill 2, and then you have like 3 uses left of Hope's FR gauge, and Anna Crow's just like, I got this.
With Luna Freya in the party, mind you. Luna Freya giving her 3 turns back to back so she doesn't delay herself. Yeah. It's just fun. Like, it's just fun.
Lilithette, definitely pulling for her FR. Her FR is, her conditions is super easy to me. Like, super duper easy to me. The first one is attacking a debuffed enemy, depending on the amount of debuffs. Every debuff is going to be +5. And then just deal critical brave damage. I mean, she already makes it so that everybody is able to deal crit damage, regardless if you can't break the enemy or not. So, yeah, very easy FR to basically, or pretty much work with any character. The only thing that would hold her back is if, like, the boss, like, prevents debuffs or just likes to cleanse a lot. That's about it.
Well, there is also something else. A lot of her buffs, or like a lot of her debuffs, are generic. So if you can run a debuffer who actually has frame debuffs, you'll have an easier time to maintain it. Right. You don't want to be in a situation where a boss has frame buffs and it just knocks off her it knocks off her generic debuffs.
So, but yeah, then there's ways to get around it. Or you could just put Kadash next to her.
I mean, that's what I plan on doing. You know.
All right. Seymour. Anyways, Seymour. So look, I'm still getting through FF10. Like, I have not forgotten to play through one. I've been playing a little bit off screen. So with Seymour though, like as Kaiden mentioned earlier, like his whole thing is the lower the enemy's HP is, the more damage that he does. So he goes more burr. That's basically how his kit is. His FR ability is whenever attacking an enemy that has no buffs active, and then whenever attacking an enemy, whenever it is below 80%, and then 50%. So it's pretty much like overall, it's like focusing on his key. Like I couldn't think of the words. It's like I can't think of the bloody words. Damn.
Seymour has you stumped. All right, moving on.
Yeah, so yeah, I will probably pull for Seymour just for the hell of it. Maria, her FR, it's actually not a bad FR, and I think a lot of people were very quick to judge about it, which is not surprising in this community because it tends to happen a lot. And I am not afraid to say it. So, recover HP per ally healed increases by 2%, so that'll be 6. 6%. Enemy, whenever turns ends with Brave at 0 or break. I mean, remember, she does have traps, so I mean, that's not going to be an issue with her. And then recovering HP, super, like overall, her conditions are very easy to be able to increase and whatnot, so it's not going to be hard to do. I will probably throw some tickets at her FR. I actually like it. It's a little bit different than like most of the FRs that we've been having. So I will probably pull for her FR, throw some tickets at it. Of course, depending on how resources are and whatnot. And yeah. Yuna, her FR is actually not a bad FR. I mean, literally her FR basically fixes her own kit in general. Like, because her FR makes it so that she, like, no debuffs are going to happen while her FR ability is active. So, yeah, you get, like, a temporary fix, which I find funny. So, whenever her own basically, as long as you have no active debuffs on Yuna, and whenever you use a change Brave or HP command, which I mean Yuna has access to, it's an easy like increase in the FR gauge. So I will more than likely be pulling for her FR again, like I did on my JP out, because my main account doesn't have the BT.
Just so those are aware, right? Just so we like. Here's a quick tip about Yuna, right? If you build the FR gauge high enough, if you go into the BT finish, every dump will pretty much kill an enemy. It doesn't matter which class. All of them hurt. And if you're running Hope with, with Yuna, if you have her BT effect active, and if you're going into the BT finisher with Hope there, and if you have the FR like around maybe like 600, maybe like 700, just to get it set up for Yuna ultimately. As soon as you press that BT finisher, something's going to die. And if it's not dead, it's extremely close to death, and just on the verge of just breathing on it will probably push it over. Yuna hits that hard with a very, very well-timed or very high setup cost with her FR active, or with the enemy, or just in any general sense of just having a high FR and having her use her BT finish. Yuna can easily smash something. For a supportive DPS, or for a supportive unit, you can easily destroy something really quickly.
Yeah. As soon as it charges the FR, yes it does. By the maximum amount, if I'm not mistaken. What's up, Drama? Yeah. I started YouTube February last year. So yeah, I'm a YouTuber now.
Okay.
Let's see here. For those asking about this website, I just posted the link in the chat. This was done by Decidia DB by Rem, so shout out to him. Very, very nice to have, especially with the coming Shinryu era. It's gonna help out a lot of global players. I highly recommend this site. It's actually a really good site. Let's see. There was another one. I'm best YouTuber. Shit. No, I suck.
Look at the friendship going on here. We're not feeding your ego, I swear. No.
Ego, what's that? I'm the last one to have that. Hold up, that's all you. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not technically wrong. I'm just good at tactics sometimes, depending on the situation.
No, if you want to know the biggest ego, it's this guy right here.
Okay, so I have a very bad habit of playing with my food. I won't use the most destructive units. Oh, but trust me, if I really want to put a team together, Lost knows real quick. I could put a team together that could kill something in 3 turns. I just choose not to do that. That's not fun to me. I like to struggle a little bit just to make it a little bit more interesting. I like to play with my food before I eat it.
So should I use extra Asuna charges? You can like if you plan on going to the BT phase with a look, he's freaking gnat. I'm about to like burn it. Yeah, you can. Like if like say you use the Unicall or you have not Luna Freya. If you have Luna Freya together with Yuna and Luna Freya gives Yuna the extra turns, and that's an easy like 3 charges right there. And then you could just go into the burst phase and just go burr. So let's see here. What do you think about the class 0 characters for this Shinryu era? Actually, I would say about a half of the Type 0 characters are actually pretty good during the era, and some of them actually do help with some of these FR conditions.
Some of them really work well with other BT effects too, but it depends on which ones you're talking about, or it depends on which units we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. And then when it comes to 14, 14 needs love. I mean, you still got a nice rework recently, if that counts.
Yeah, okay. Go. In case you guys didn't know, Alfie has decided to be the madman himself and use an entire BT phase just to FR charge.
Wait.
Check him out.
Really?
Yeah, no, he used an entire BT phase just an FR charge.
Oh, I missed that. I need to see that.
No, I enjoy every single time I watch Alfie run, because every single time I watch Alfie run, Alfie would literally put on Anachrome Call just so he could be like, all right, I'm going to go into BT phase and pray to God I get EXs.
That's funny. I have to go watch that.
Oh, dude. And he makes the run work. Like, he makes the run work for sure. He goes through an entire BT phase, never attacking the enemies, but he's just like, yo, we got FR for round 1, let's go.
Let's see. What's my favorite BT team in the game? It would have to be between Tifa's BT phase team, Machina's, or damn, I just had it at the top of my
fantastic. Oh my god!
Just had it at the tip of my tongue. The third one. Damn it! I'll get back to you on the third one.
I can tell you mine for sure. One is Vincent, White Tiger, which is Machina, and Sid Rain's BT theme. I enjoy all 3 of those for sure. If I can give an honorable mention would be going straight to, I have 2 of them, which is Arden and Iroha. Those 2 for sure. Love those.
True. Let's see. Noctis team is good. I like that. LSAFR, Kaiden would be simping hard.
Yo, please, please give me that. just I'll take it. Just give it.
Let's see. Saish just got her force enhancements. Saish just got her force enhancements. People use her more now. Yeah, for sure. Oh, this is good. Why isn't Saish used a lot? It depends on the Shinryu fight. It depends on what it is we have to put up with, because there are a good amount of elemental lockouts. So that I think what was it? Not the Jesse one, but the one before that, you could use Holy and Dark. It just depends on the Shinryu fight and like what's going on, really. I mean, because like if you watch runs and whatnot, like more than 50% of the time, a lot of us don't, and including myself, a lot of us don't mention like what are the fight details about it, and like there are reasons why we use specific units here and there, but like no, Saiz with the rework that she got on her FR, it's no, she's very much good, and it's not that I don't want to use her. It just depends on the the Shinryu fight. So, just FYI.
I think it's been said multiple times that they're going to have elemental lockouts, and that's the reason why you're safer to pick a non-elemental attacker versus picking an elemental attacker. Because if you have an elemental attacker and if they lock out every other element besides that element, you're going to have a harder time to pull them through a fight, so you won't see them that often. However, with certain characters, certain setup costs are a lot easier to maintain, and if you have units like Laguna going into Shinryu, Laguna and Seiss are going to be units that just plays ridiculously well off of each other. And at the beginning of Shinryu, all the way up until like maybe the third month, you won't encounter a lot of lockouts.
Yeah.
But you will encounter some situations where if an enemy FR gauge goes off, you're probably going to want to handle that first, and you don't want to be in a situation where somebody can be potentially broken. With Seiss, she has 100% evade, but if they have a guaranteed hit, you don't want her to be in those type of situations. Because the moment she gets broken, she loses stacks, or she loses her overhead. That's biggest no-no in the game. Like, you don't want that.
Let's see, they've only locked out like 5 times.
I think
definitely more than that.
After Minu cycle, like he got locked out by a lot of fights.
Yeah.
But it's not so much like
they mix it up as what they've been doing a whole like they don't like stick to like one element like for too long, because then that'll get boring quick using the same character over and over.
They'll also put in fights that's dedicated to the character, so they'll lock out every other element that isn't the character's element that they're trying to feature.
Oh, you could just brave gains through it and that's it.
Oh yeah, sure. There's that. Or run enough HP damage up that if you hit ones, it doesn't matter. You're still hitting cap AC.
You're still hitting more. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so let's talk about January Chaos.
Yeah, I'm good here.
Yeah. So Jack Garland, 1,000%. He's still very much a extremely strong DPS unit, 1,000%. He's definitely worth it. He's definitely worth the chase. So I will be pulling for his entire kit. So Beatrix FR, yeah, definitely. Her FR just her FR is just really good. And it basically works well with a kit. So Beatrix FR, in my opinion, is very much worth it. She soloed Shinryu fights a couple times actually so far.
Yeah, she soloed a couple of. Even though she needs to buff or she needs allies to get more out of Thunder Slash, she's done fights where she doesn't even need allies because she's relying purely on counter damage.
Yeah, exactly. So Beatrix FR for sure. Rydia's FR. Some of you guys might call me crazy for this, but her FR is actually very much worth. I feel like by the time we get to this point, and you may not see too many JP players use it, but like overall in general, like her FR ability is actually not bad at all. And like if you evade attacks, it increases by 50% if I'm not mistaken. So, and like with how Rydia's kit works and whatnot, like it's easy like 999. Like well, I can't say easy, but like it's close to the 999. So her FR is basically just evading an attack plus 50, using a water ability, and then using a water ability for Rydia herself. So it's actually a really good FR. It does also inflict a debuff as well to make it so that they will miss even more in case you don't have her L debuff active on her on the team. So like her FR ability is really, really good. I would personally recommend it. It's a really good one. Iroha, she gets her FR gets rerun again, and she also gets a BT. 1,000% pulling for Iroha's BT. Like it's a really good BT effect. I love it. So like additional fixed damage, and it increases with the stacks of her BT. Yeah. Very, very good. And for those wondering, Onion Knight did actually get a pretty solid rework and a BT rework.
Got a good thing this time.
So, I will probably green Onion Knight again come his release on Global. Machina with his FR, 1,000. Man, yo, January is going to be a heavy month for me because there's so many good FRs.
Remember how we talked about one of those things that we were talking about one of those units that were like, which one's the most busted? Pull.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
So Machina's FR is a very, very good FR for both offensive and off turn. So basically, use a melee attack and an off turns attacks included. For Machina, so for anybody outside of Machina, Machina increases it for 25% whenever he counterattacks. If remember, he has 2 counterattacks. So that's an easy 50 going on, right? And then using a change Brave or HP attack. I mean, Furious Blades Burst? Yeah, time to go ham. And then use an ability with an abnormal turn rate. Again, his BT, his BT, Furious Blades Burst. So overall, even though it is mostly for Machina, being able to pair him up with off-turn damage dealers will help increase that gauge very, very high. It's a very solid one to have. It's really, really good. It's busted.
Sorry,
in my opinion, it's busted.
Yeah, just let the enemies kill themselves. Like, let them hit you and let them kill themselves at this point. Put Core, Gladiolus, and put Machina together. Have fun, kiddos.
You're just being a bully at that point.
Like, and the funny part about it is, even if Machina's not being aimed at, it'll be the off-turn damage coming from Core. It'll have Gladiolus counter, and on top of that, anytime an enemy acts, Machina will counter. So it's like, even if, like, a lot of people probably say, well, you kind of want Machina to get hit in order for him to have his HP damage go off. Gladiolus makes up for that so much more than you think. And those three working together, and if the enemy is using an all skill, you have Core going off twice, you have Gladiolus going off, then you have Machina going off.
Yep.
Just let them kill themselves at this point. It's cool.
Pretty much. So, and then finally, Fusoya. Overall, like I mentioned this earlier, but like he is able to basically like increase the turn count for the paralysis debuff via whenever you use his the ability. Overall, like his overall kit in general is actually not bad for a magic damage dealer. He's actually a pretty good character, so I'll probably pull for him again when he is released on Z Global. Uh-oh. All right. We lost Kaiden.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'm just thinking about. I'm just going back. Sorry.
Okay.
Let's see.
We lost Kaiden now.
No, nobody lost. So I'm thinking about Jack, and I honestly think that Jack's probably one of the most anticipated units, just because of how destructive he is. And for those who already don't know, as Lost said earlier, he has a lot of damage built into his kit. Without FR active, he still has a lot of damage built into his kit. I'm pulling. That's not a question. I just think I'm pulling at this point. Beatrix, hands down, one of my favorite FF9 units. She may not have been in the party, but the time she was in the party, I just was able to eliminate things relatively quick. Rydia, I think that she's cool, and if I go after her, I'll probably go after her with tickets. I'm not going to probably use gems on that banner, but I'll definitely give her some tickets. Onion Knight comes along with Iroha, so by default, I'm probably gonna have to do some things there. But I think Onion Knight got a very, very good rework, and on top of that, he becomes fairly decent. He no longer goes from doing 1 HP dub on most of his kit, but he does multiple HP dubs. And on top of that, his EX is probably one of his biggest hitting hits in the entirety of his kit now. So, Blade Torrent, look out for that. Machina, pull. And Fusoya,
pull.
Fusoya is one of those units that has the ability to lock down a boss and keep them locked down. So I really like his kit, and on top of that, it isn't too terrible to keep his FR effect in check. I think that when it does come down to him, I will definitely throw some tickets at him, but it just kind of sort of depends on if I really need like a heavy paralysis unit or not. I definitely know in his fight, paralysis is like one of the things that you're going for, but you can use older paralysis types in order to keep the fight going. They sometimes jump in the way of your actions, but
get
other
out
than
the
that,
way.
that's fine. Let's see. I think that covers that month for me.
Okay. So now I have to look up the characters that got FRs this month, because this what do you call it? What the hell would you call this? Picture has not been updated with the characters that got reworks, FRs, all that good stuff for the month of July.
I believe that would be Ash, Thais, Drago, Dark Knight, Cecil, Kuja, and Jesse. I think that's it.
Okay, so DKC, What are the other ones again?
So after Fusoya is Ash, I believe.
Oh yeah, Ash.
We got yeah. Okay, so it's Ash for sure. I know for a fact it's Ash.
Yeah,
a lot of people were talking about the Yu-Gi-Oh references.
Oh right.
Her FR condition is easy to manage because of the fact that it's deal thunder damage, holy damage, and being able to have at least 4 buffs active on you. So I think that that's easy to maintain more than anything else. She enchants those elements too, so there's that. I know for a fact that Sice was dark damage because dark enchanter, but I can't remember her other effect. If I remember right, I think it probably had to do with the special effect, maybe.
Let me see. It is use dark and then have an active stage buff or special effect.
Okay. I know for a fact Strago is do magic, deal breaks, or have instant breaks. So I know that for a fact.
Oh yeah, Strago. Strago became a beast with his FR and whatnot. Oh my god.
I hate to put this to people, or just to you, Lost in particular, but he's a beast currently. He's a beast currently, but he gets even more ridiculous with the Stone FR. Oh. I mean, he's like right now. Strago is one of those units that if you need an AOE damage dealer, Strago at C90. Oh my god, dude, he's able to blow something up. But when he gets his FR is definitely catered to his kit and auto breaking or instant breaking. Like he just has that. And on top of that, again, that EX just comes in and destroys things relatively quick. If you have a unit who can build the FR gauge for Strago, and if you have Lunafreya in the party, give him 3 turns back to back, just watch something die. Oh man, it's funny. It is really funny. And then I think after Strago's Dark Knight Cecil, Kuja, and then if I remember right, Jesse, because those are the recent ones that just got released.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So let me look at some questions real quick. We are towards the end, my friends. If you guys have made it this far, thank you so much for coming by. And if you haven't already, like the stream, all that good stuff. And blah 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 blah.
Bruh.
I told you I'm not the best YouTuber.
Come on.
Let's see here. Or whoever was that said that. Let's see. Video FR was assigned solely for her boyfriend to shine than her.
Oh no.
What's interesting is I've actually seen a JP player who has been not only like clearing content normally, but has also been doing duo runs with Rydia and Edge. And it's actually been doing fairly well. Let's see here. Baked Beans FR weapon when? That's going to be the global first. Let's see. How does the HP damage calculation work with the HP damage cap during FR time? Does it limit the damage to the HP damage cap, then add the FR damage bonus, or does the cap get ignored altogether? No, it doesn't get ignored. It does not get ignored. It basically it's going to go with whatever the HP damage cap is, and then it'll multiply by the percentage of the HP damage bonus. Because a lot of the not a lot, but some of the latest FR weapons have a built-in HP damage cap up, and some of them have been like 50%, which is like insane.
Fuck it up.
So like, yeah. So like I guess like whenever like if you're doing the math specifically, it'll be on top of like what you already have in general for the HP damage cap. Let's see, off turn damage all the way. Heck yeah. Oh, is the way. Yes, Sephi, you are correct.
I mean, it's Sephi. Like, he's a prime example of people, like, when people are saying Rito's FR is bad, he's one of those dudes that's just like, yeah, that's cute. Excuse me, as I run the exact same units through all of content.
Let's see. Damn, bro, you still eating? Nah, I'm chewing gum. Damn, I know I'm fat, but damn.
Yo, relax there, champ.
No, I'm good. Let's see. 10 stream when? Soon, friend, soon. I have family over from out of state. So if not, I actually would have considered it this weekend. So once Garland gets an FR, what would it be? Because I can only think of his delay and his follow-up attack. I would think it would just be that.
Like, every FR that they have released has played to the character every single time. Like, Terra and Tidus play to them, to their strengths. However, they have situations where they have FRs that is played to the party that the entire party can jump in on, or they have FRs that's played to the single character, to where only really that one character can build it. So in more situations than not, you'll catch characters like Garland because he's very selfish and keeping the enemy back. I would say probably delaying an enemy like RNA would be one of those things.
Yeah.
And probably doing follow-up because it's in his kit with his LD2. So I think more than anything else, they definitely made some FRs cater to the base kit of a character, so that way if you don't have one of the characters, like Rydia, for example, if you don't have her LD, you can still have evasion built into that debuff that she's able to put on with the FR. But again, it kind of sort of depends on the situation.
All right. So the characters that I have in order for you, because you is going first, is going to be Strago, Cecil, Ash, Kuja, Seiss, and my side chick, Jessie. And yes, I'm thirsty again, so go ahead and spam it in the in the stream chat.
Here's a cup of water.
All right. Yes, here's a no. I need. Hold up. There you go.
Hydrate.
Hydrate.
Hydrate, my friend.
And
Hydrate.
this was before remake, mind you. Okay. Like this has been a thing. I've just been low key, keep it because I don't want people to find out.
Right. So we'll just do the list. I think Ash, if I did get her FR, I would be very happy with it. Ash is probably like one of those situations where I feel like a lot of people are probably going to pass her, but if you do get her, she is going to be very beneficial in the team. Pretty much being able to have a ridiculous buff with Queen's Order, but not just that, but her utility that's built into her BT effect. If you do get her FR is very easy to manage because she fulfills all the requirements. You just need to play the game at that point. Just play the game, you'll get exactly. It. Seiss, I feel like Seiss is an easy one to manage too because dealing dark damage, easy, but if you have her trap on, even easier to maintain that. So just having Seiss in the team easily fulfills that requirement. Or running what's his name? Xande. Running Xande as a caller in the party for Dark Enchant for the entire team. And Shantoto BT Effect. Shout out to Shantoto BT Effect for running dark damage. Will probably help you. Probably. But she does get a fantastic rework. And I think Shantoto got that rework with Ferris. So either way. And Strago, I feel like Strago is going to be a good one. And the only thing you really just need is mages to work with him, and mages who can do auto break or instant break. Mm-hmm. But again, Strago can easily fulfill his own FR gauge. And there are multiple units who can give him back-to-back turns, or like give him more turns to where he can be consistent with the FR gauge. Then there's Dark Knight Cecil.
Yes.
Dark Knight Cecil is...
His FR is stupid good.
Yes, his FR is ridiculously good, but here's my thing now. His FR is ridiculously great, but it's the risk for reward. If you think that you can do the fight comfortably underneath 50%, by all means, run him.
Which it is very much possible. Come on.
It is 100%. It is very much possible to do that. Mm-hmm. However, it's literally requiring you to do HP damage in order for you to really be able to get underneath that. So if you're running Dark Knight Cecil, you have to do HP attacks to heal. So be aggressive with Dark Knight Cecil. Be like 100% be aggressive. Let's see. Kuja, I feel like with his rework, it wasn't like
it could have been better. Just saying,
but it's not the worst. Like it could have been better, but it's not the worst. Like his FR is holy damage, which is fine. Dealing brave damage that hits multiple targets, like all about AoE in this situation, and himself being able to deal AoE damage to a lot of units. He has the ability to shave something really, really quickly, and on top of that, Ultima having 100% HP damage attached to it. if you can find a way to really increase his HP damage cap up, he could probably shred something too. But I feel like the setup cost for him is a lot higher than normal. So for me, I'm probably not gonna chase this. If I get it, if I somehow give like a free pull and I get it on a free pull, cool. I'll probably throw like 30, maybe 50 tickets at it. But for me personally, I'm not I'm okay if I get it or if I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Jesse, and I feel like Jesse is one of those units that all like just her showing up here, she has the ability to delay and turn warp the team. She's not just for me when I look at a lot of people or from the comments I have seen about her. I think that she's very good at her role, being able to keep enemies away and keep the party consistently
1,000%. 1,000%. And I'm saying this like, you know, even though I love FF7, but like as a like, you know, to remain biased is the correct word.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to steal your spotlight, but overall, like she does her role extremely well.
The fact that her EX has 2 turns back to back, where she can bring up the entire team. She has she has delayed her kit to keep the enemies away. Her FR gauge is literally catered to making sure that your allies go, but moving an ally's turn in front of an enemy or delaying an enemy, she can do that. Like her FR is fun for turn manipulation and turn shenanigans. And I feel like more than anything else, if you were to put Jesse with Onion Knight, you would probably have a lot of fun. Or if you put Jesse with Onion Knight and then have Luna Freya in the mix, it's even more ridiculous. I just think that it's a lot more unique than you think. And then on top of that, if you were to run, I think because there was a YouTuber or a YouTube video that I saw earlier where Jesse was working with Kais and then working with Luna Freya, but then Luna Freya got switched out for Cisne. My God, I never saw the enemy again after the turn warping started. I didn't even know where they went. They just went in the back and they just disappeared, and I never saw them again.
Jesse having range is a condition. I mean,
yeah, it's user range stability, and there are multiple ranged DPS who can easily hit hard.
Yeah, like I was thinking, and I'm gonna have to try this, but pairing her up with Noctis.
I mean, he has follow-up, and he has range.
He has range, yeah.
He has range.
So, let's see here.
Works well with Cloud. Works well with a lot of Final Fantasy VII unit. She works well with a lot.
Yeah.
And she also works well with Maria in the party, too.
That is also true. So... let's see. For me, Strago, I'll throw some tickets for his FR weapon. His rework was a pretty good one as well. So basically, just like more HP dumps in general and whatnot. They also increased his own personal like stats and whatnot, like Brave damage up, HP damage up, Stolen Brave up, Stolen Brave. Oh, okay. So they added that as well. Basically they made it so that so Strago can like hit like much harder, and then the conditions for his force gauge is basically just use a magic ability and then inflict, break, or attack broken targets. Very easy to meet, so it's not hard at all. So I'll throw some tickets for his kit. Oh, for his FR, excuse me. Dark Knight says so. Yeah, for sure I will be pulling for his freaking kit. His FR, like when Kyron was talking, like his FR is busted. It really is busted. And like, you know, so Dark Knight says so. I mean, like, he was a double-edged sword before, but now he really becomes one with his BT. But like, when you really look at it, like look, I'm not afraid of getting hit by a boss. I'm gonna tell you that right now, like, because like apparently there are so many players that like are against Dark Knight Cecil because of the fact that he basically just saps the party's HP, and I'm like, is that really gonna stop you from pulling from? Like, okay, to each their own, fine, but to me it's just like it's a little weird on my part, but whatever.
I agree.
So. But like in general though, like the thing is though, like even though he does consume everybody's HP, he does technically heal some of that HP back as well. So it's not like you're always going to be remaining low HP. It's just that, you know, for Dark Knight Cecil to actually like deal damage with those follow-up attacks from his BT effect, like he needs not players. He needs his teammates, including himself, to have some HP, so that way he's able to deal damage with those attacks. So for him becoming a much bigger double-edged sword, I will still pull for his kit regardless, because it's actually a very solid kit. And again, his FR is stupid busted, like percentage-wise and whatnot. Like, yeah, he's like, in a way, like he gets like he almost gets like those damage percentages like Hope almost. It's not exactly the same, but it's very close.
Ideally, just to keep in mind too, there are multiple ways to protect the team, even if they are low HP. Warrior of Light Call is one of those ways to protect the team. Raijin Call is one of those ways to protect the team. If you are being attacked by an HP attack that's going off turn, Raijin is able to reduce that damage down to 0. There are multiple ways to protect yourself in that type of situation. But I think the go-to way to play Dark Knight Cecil more than anything else is running him with Sophie, or just running him in a launch comp. So that way everybody can participate in the chase. So that way everybody's dealing HP damage, and then at the end of the damage, everybody should be able to heal. At the end of the chase, everybody's healed. So that way you can keep everybody's HP up. There are multiple ways around it. It's just how you do it, or it's how you play it.
Oh, for sure. So that is it with that. Ashe, with her FR and her BT, is actually not bad. I will agree with some players. Her BT effect could have been slightly longer. I feel like it is too short, at least for me. So I think like maybe at least like 8 instead of like the 6 that they gave her would have been good. The follow-up attacks and everything from a BT effect is nice and all, but like, you know, I because it doesn't trigger on her teammates' actions. Like, you know, I'm not too crazy about that, and I think it's because I've just gotten used to the fact that like off-turn damage like every turn is a thing. But like with Ashe, it's just basically just like focusing on her at least. So, but overall though, like the upgrades that she gets, like she gets more. She becomes a little bit more viable in terms of utility. So now whenever she uses Queen's Order, she gives the fixed damage effect to her team, which is nice as well. So overall, though, like she's not a damage dealer whatsoever. But you know, everybody be thinking that every character that gets a rework is a damage dealer, but that's not the case with Ashe. Ashe just becomes. Yeah, she becomes a much stronger utility character in my opinion. So I will probably pull for her kit again, because like I like it whenever characters have like different things within the kit, and so with her having or gaining those additional things, I think is worth chasing for. Kuja, yeah, his rework wasn't like really all that. I mean, his LD now is 4 HP damage instead of what is it, the split. So yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I mean, like kind of said earlier, like he's a very good Brave Shaver for sure. He's able to Holy Enchant / Imperil. So overall, it's for what he got, I think I kind of feel like he's not like top tier DPS. I feel like he's kind of like mid tier DPS, but like I definitely think that he definitely has his uses for sure. So. For me, you know, I'm honestly unsure if I will chase for his F4 or not. Like, I think I need to use Kuja a little bit more before I make my final decision, because like, my second JP account is actually the first time that I actually green Kuja, so I need to use them a whole lot more before I make a final decision. So as of right now, I'm unsure what I want to do with him. Scythe got a small rework and whatnot, and that's about it. Mainly just focusing on her overhead, if I'm not mistaken. Is it overhead or her buff? Yeah, is it? I forget. No, it's overhead. It's overhead. So her overhead got a bit of an improvement and whatnot. I mean, like other than that, everything else is basically just the same. And then her FR ability, we talked about it earlier, with dark damage and having a trap or whatever or a stage base buff or special effect active, and it'll increase. So it's mainly focused around Scythe as how her FR works. So I more than likely will probably pull for her FR just because she is a very fun character to use, and like she can definitely dish out some pretty good damage. So Yeah, I will for sure pull for her FR weapon. And then Jesse, I mean, it's Jesse. That's all I gotta say. Yes, I'm simping for pixels again. Fight me. So, but I think Kaiden pretty much just covered everything that needs to be said about Jesse. Very strong utility character, turn manipulation, able to delay, does have some party ores that helps out, and yeah, no, I will for sure pull for her kid again. And funny enough, she actually drops on global during anniversary.
Wow. Okay. Look at that.
So, yeah. Any good showcase on Jesse FR? I do have a no BT showcase.
Yeah.
With off-turn damage dealers, if you want to check that out. Well, but there are actually plenty of showcases out right now.
There was something that I did see in the chat that I do want to talk about. I know that a lot of people were expecting Slice probably to get a lot more HP dumps on that trap, but I feel like a lot of people tend to forget that if you have that trap going off with a high FR phase, like with a high FR active, and if you're running like a unit like Iroha on the team, you're running a Leo call that has like fixed damage attached to it, there are multiple ways to get multiple HP dumps out of that thing. Like that trap can be very massive. And if there's 3 targets, that trap is going off 3 times with the FR multiplier just stacking there. So it may not look like a lot on paper, but off-turn damage becomes very high when you have a high FR that's pushing something to 999, let's just say, and she's having that trap go off every time the enemy's acting. And it's even more ridiculous when there are multiple targets on the field. If it's single target, yeah, then that's kind of not the greatest. If it's 2 targets, cool. That's actually very decent. If it's 3 targets, you're pretty much asking them to kill themselves by this point. And that's if everybody's acting on the team, which everybody's going to be acting. Even better, if you're letting the enemies get turns, you're just letting her pretty much take care of the work at that point. Or they're just offing themselves too. Like it may not look like much on paper again, but she does a lot more damage than you guys think. Slice is doing a lot more than you think.
For sure. Let's see here. Somebody asks, do you think greening DKC is a wise decision? New JP players don't really know what's good. I would say as of right now, yeah, but just of course note, like I mentioned, when I was talking about him, that he is he's a big double-edged sword. So definitely got to be careful with whatever fights it is you're gonna be doing. Making sure that you don't accidentally get just hit with or get one-shotted or whatever. You know what I mean? So, but like his FR is definitely gonna help you out, especially since you're a new player. It'll help you out with clearing a lot of the older content like super fast.
Actually, now that I think about it, Dark Knight Cecil has a C Sphere built into his kit, if I remember right. So technically speaking, if you run like a Theodore sphere on him, he could technically heal the party a little bit. Like it's just a very small amount. It is very tiny. But he could technically heal the team. There's also the fact that, as we talked about earlier, Warrior of Light Call will protect the team. Raijin's LD Call will protect the team. Running him in a launch comp to where everybody can participate in a chase will ultimately have the entire party healing as long as you're dealing HP damage. So the major thing about Dark Knight Cecil, be aggressive. Do not be passive when that BT effect is active. While it's on, the moment that you're passive, there's a good chance that you're going to get killed. Don't be aggressive. I cannot stress that enough.
Hey, 69 likes. Hey, let's go. Imagine if we got a sphere rework. That'd be some shit.
I would actually, because there's a couple of
characters I'd be down for it.
Who have very awful sphere categories on them, and I'm like, why? But I'm like, I mean, if you can give sphere slot reworks, cool, even better. Because there are a couple of people who should have different things on them. I'm just like, whatever.
Did DKC give you party mortality though? Since it's no, it does. No, he does not.
No, it does not.
So that's why we say it's a double-edged sword.
Like Dark Knight Cecil has a 25% HP last stand, where most party members have like a 50% requirement in order to have it. So Dark Knight Cecil being able to get knocked down to 1 underneath 25%, it's fine for him, but it's not fine for anybody else. Majority of the other last stand units needs you to be at least 50. and I don't think Locke's BT effect can counter that. So because it's HP that you're giving willingly, and on top of that, there's some situations where like even Bosch, if you have like VV in the party, and you have Bosch working together, and if VV's HP or like VV's follow up a command drop Bosch below 50, it doesn't heal him back up there to 50. So there's some situations where you need to rely on a very good protective barrier in the team, and you're looking for ways to make sure that you want to make sure that the enemy doesn't have like a way to deal HP damage or that bypass HP damage reduction. So
Yep.
If you can do that, you're pretty much set to go. But I don't think we have enemies that a lot of enemies that can do that. There are some that do, but not a lot.
Let's see. Let's answer like one or two more questions before we hop off. Returning player. I don't really know what's coming up besides Kane. All I know is that his FR is not that great. What should I really go for? Well, you should definitely go for his BT for sure. If you want to hold off on the FR, I mean, like I guess like the next best FR, like if you like a focus on meta, would be Kane. Not Kane. I'm sorry. Camel Nuts. So.
Oh my God. Hi, Dave. All right. I mean, I guess.
So, yeah, he would be like the next like big one, and what you call it? Which I actually need to. Well, I'll tell you after we're done. So yeah, so I would go for him. Let's see. So we're still talking about VV's Apocalypse. VV's Apocalypse.
Somebody ruined that for me. I will never look at Apocalypse in the exact same way. I'm good. VV has scared me for life now.
So, but anyways, so guys, I think with that we pretty much covered all of the current FR units that are out now in JP. So I think with that, I guess we are going to hop off. Somebody asked me earlier when OPOP should be. If my timing is correct, it should be Tuesday. So we'll have to see on that. I might do a live reaction. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see what's going on with life. So because this ain't my full-time job. So
not yet. Fuck off.
Let's see here. There was the community live stream that's happening on Monday at 4:30 EST. So I will be live for that to see, if they do any type of like global first shenanigans, which I don't know. Something tells me they probably won't. But we shall see. And yeah, tomorrow should be the next Who Should You BT Plus video. So yeah, if you're here now, you already know what's coming tomorrow morning. And Sunday, if I can get it out there, if I have time to work on it tomorrow, there's a video that I'm gonna work on that's going to help out new players and maybe some current players that are still trying to figure out like what they want to do. So, which I'll talk to you here in a bit about it, kind of. So.
More work.
So that if I can get it done, will be out Sunday. If not, I don't know. I might just relax on Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. So, but anyways, so guys, that's gonna be it for the live stream. I appreciate you guys coming out. Thank you for the one new member. Thank you so much.
Very much.
And don't forget to like the stream, all that good stuff. And if you're watching this VOD, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below and I'll try to answer it as soon as possible. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Thanks, Kaiden, for joining me tonight.
Keep getting invited to these, and the sad part is I literally live right next door. Thanks, I appreciate it.
So but yeah, guys, take care, have a good rest of your Friday evening, and we will catch you guys in the next one.
Take care.